welcome to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, April 15, 2025. I'm Rochelle Matisse with the details. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines is currently negotiating with the World Bank, which has signaled its agreement through the International Development Association, IDA, for approximately $65 million to fund development projects starting in 2026. This was announced by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves during a news conference today. He noted that although general elections are due later this year, he is planning with the confidence that his administration will secure a sixth term in office, and as such is already preparing programs for next year and beyond.
I'm just making an assumption. I'm operating on the basis that the people will return us for a sixth term. Never mind, you see the 6th year on my shirt. This doesn't represent the sixth term. I have 6 grandchildren now. So I'm wearing this for my grandchildren. You know? And some of that money we can use as a policy-based loan, which isn't tied to any particular thing. But the items which we are looking at to prepare programs for, additional programs from this money, which we are presenting to the World Bank, a sustainable tourism and coastal erosion resilience project to deal with tourism sites, grounds, breakwater, and resanding. The second one, sustainable fisheries and livelihood enhancement project to do some infrastructure development at Ashton, in Union Island, Bookament, Calicoa, Clare Valley, Layu, Lomans, Shipping Bay, fish fries, support for the fishers, and the like. We're doing some already, but we're going to do more. TVET, skills development for construction, culture, and the creative industries.
Dr. Gonsalves also revealed that some of the upcoming projects expected to be financed under the World Bank agreement will be outlined in the Unity Labour Party, the ULP's election manifesto.
And I'll be able to tell you that I got the money lined up. And either World Bank, the Kingston Waterfront Revitalization and Urban Renewal Project, that is to do a master plan to design the waterfront, the modern port and other infrastructure up here now. We're moving the port when we go down. And we need also to have another source to do the Grenadines ferry terminal. A wharf for the Grenadines, sorry, which will go to the western side of where the port is now, the modern port which we're now building. The one where Agamemnon, King of Mycenae, Glenn Stewart and Daniel Cummins say will wash away by August, September. Well, we will see.
Just last Friday, the World Bank announced that St. Vincent and the Grenadines, along with St. Lucia and Barbados, will benefit from a new $70 million disaster risk management development policy financing project. The funding aims to strengthen disaster preparedness, resilience, and response capabilities in the 3 Caribbean community countries. Additionally, the Prime Minister announced that the tender process for the new Sandy Bay Secondary School to be constructed at Orange Hill will begin on May 14th, with construction expected to commence before the end of this year.
You have to do tender, then the tenders have to be assessed, then you have to give them a period of time to mobilize. You see what I mean? So maybe might start August, September. Same thing with Thomas Saunders Secondary School, because we had to do over that because of the plan would have been defective based on what the assessment the technical people did first. Because what was to be done, you have to break down a whole section of it because it ain't strong enough to hold what you're going to put up. Then additional, the final design and tender documents have been received. The documents are now being with the World Bank for review. Advertising should be in the local newspaper this Thursday and on the World Bank page in respect of enhancing the Oya and Shatibile fishery centers. Jennings and Waterloo feeder roads. Jennings, as we're going up to the, Jennings is the left-hand side of Congo Valley, where the water project. A contract has been awarded to Hutchinson for the Jennings Road and for Franco for Waterloo. They should mobilize from today. They should take, each of those constructions should take 8 months.
Dr. Gonzalez also disclosed that funding has been secured for the Central Water and Sewage Authority to improve water delivery in the Owie and Sandy Bay areas. He noted that the CWSA has already drilled 2 new wells in North Windward, and the tendering process for pipelines and fittings is expected to begin by the end of this month, with additional work to follow shortly thereafter. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Consumer Affairs, through its Foreign Trade Department, will host a high-level national consultation with the CARICOM Secretariat on Wednesday, April 23, 2025, at the University of the West Indies Global Campus in Kingston. The consultation aims to support CARICOM's ongoing efforts to refine its approach to external trade negotiations, particularly in relation to tariff liberalization. A news release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs says the key objectives of the meeting include analyzing the factors shaping the region's offensive, defensive, and neutral positions in trade negotiations, identifying products and subsectors that fall under offensive, sensitive, or neutral interest categories, evaluating CARICOM's trade performance from 2012 to 2021, and promoting evidence-based strategies for developing CARICOM's offers and requests in market access negotiations. The ministry says the event represents a critical opportunity for stakeholders from both the public and private sectors to contribute to shaping the region's trade policy. The ministry says it looks forward to dynamic, solution-oriented dialogue with the CARICOM Secretariat and all relevant stakeholders as it works to advance St. Vincent and the Grenadines' market access priorities in future trade negotiations. Member of Parliament for East St. George, Camilla Gonzalez, has criticized the opposition New Democratic Party, the NDP, claiming it lacks the experience necessary to effectively govern the country. Speaking during the ULP Speaks program last evening, Gonzalez argued that the NDP does not have the leadership or institutional knowledge required to manage the affairs of the state if voted into office.
You go around the Caribbean, the only country in the whole Caribbean where not one member of the party, nobody running, has 1 day of experience in government is the New Democratic Party. And not only do none of them have any experience in government, none of them have anybody beside them or behind them who has experience in government. There was a time when they had Cruikshank and John Horn and James Mitchell. All of them of blessed memory. And they've done their time and they've done their service to the country. And they've moved on to the great beyond. But today, who in the NDP could tell you how to govern a country on day one if they came into office? Not one. Not a single solitary one. But they don't even have youth to recommend them. You can't even say, well, they're inexperienced, but they're young, they have energy. No, they're inexperienced and old. So, so they don't have the energy that youth brings, and they don't have the experience that age brings. They're just old. They're just old. And they want to come and form government. They don't have the energy to do it, to learn. You know, they say they can't teach a old dog new tricks. You can bring that old dog in there to try to now learn how to run government at age 60 and 70. Well, age 60 something and 70 something. Can't happen. Who going to teach them? It is it's an amazing thing. But
Gonzalez, who also serves as Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Information Technology, went on to highlight the preparation and expertise within the current Unity Labour Party administration. He said every Wednesday during cabinet meetings, they essentially have an advanced university level seminar in governance led by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves.
Because the Prime Minister teaches us how to operate in a small island state, how to govern in a small island state, how to get things from an idea in your head to actually happening. And it's a long journey between an idea in your head and making something happen, you know. You go anywhere out on the road, you ask anybody something, they have an idea about something or the other. But to turn that idea into action and to make it a reality is a journey. And somebody had to teach you how to make that journey. And we have every day, we've had the Prime Minister teaching us that, and continue to have him. And every day we've had Gomri. And over the years, we've had people of experience who are still with the party. You look up on that stage, you see Clayton Borgin, you see Seth McKee, you see people who have contributed. You see Gerald Thompson, who remain with the party, who have governed, who have experience governing, and who are there to hold the hands of the next generation and carry them forward. Where is that in the New Democratic Party? You can't find it. You can't even find one person who is willing to do that for them. And they want to come and govern at their advanced age. Come on, man. Can't be serious. You can't risk it, because the truth of the matter is none of them know what they're doing. All them could talk, but the reality is none of them know what they're doing, and none of them have done it for even one day, and then they want to come and say what they go do. Come on, man. You can't be serious.
Gonsalves reinforced the view that leadership requires more than just ambition. It requires experience, vision, and a deep understanding of the mechanisms of government. Meanwhile, Opposition Member of Parliament for East Kingston, Dwight Fitzgerald Bramble, continues to outline his development plans for the constituency with a strong focus on improving infrastructure. Speaking during a village meeting held in the constituency last evening, Bramble stated that if elected to office, a comprehensive infrastructure program will be implemented to address road maintenance and other public works.
Look at all the infrastructure, the drains, the back walls, what have you. In Rockies community alone, within the past 4 years, we have had 3 homes washed away from flooding and heavy rains. Completely washed away in one area of the constituency, almost 1 a year. We have to make sure that we fix our infrastructure. We have to make sure that our roads are fixed. We have to make sure that the people of Rockies are involved in their own communities' development and maintenance. So instead of having people coming out twice a year in road gangs to clean the roads, we will have a proper, sustained, ongoing program of road maintenance conducted by the people of Rockies for the people of Rockies' benefit.
The opposition MP also emphasized the importance of restoring local governance structures to give communities greater control over their own affairs.
What we are going to do in this constituency and in this community is to bring back the community life on which we have thrived for so many years. We are going to put the power back into your hands, and we are going to reinstitute and reinvigorate and revitalize local government. So the people of Rockies, you will have your opportunity to elect your community council or whatever you want to call it, and make sure that you conduct your affairs. We will provide the resources from the central government. Your representative, Fitzbramble, will make sure that the resources are provided to your community council, committee, whatever you want to call it, so that you can conduct your affairs.
Bramble further outlined plans by the NDP to establish a constituency development fund aimed at supporting targeted development projects not only in East Kingston but across all 15 constituencies nationwide.
Every Monday morning, you don't have to run coming down in the complex looking for this man and looking for that man, because the resources and the support will be there for you. And what we are going to make sure that we do to strengthen that initiative, we are going to establish a constituency development fund so that regardless to who is representing you, your constituency will have the resources to develop and for your people to enjoy a better standard of living than what you have enjoyed for years.
The opposition MP reiterated his commitment to building a more responsive and community-focused approach to governance. Robotics competition prize-giving ceremony held today. Following what has been described as a successful hosting of the inaugural National Robotics Competition, the National Center for Technological Innovation, the NCTI, held its official prize-giving ceremony today to recognize the winners. The competition held in collaboration with the Ministry of Education and National Reconciliation on Thursday, March 27, 2025. At the Methodist Church Hall saw the participation of over 140 students from 13 secondary schools. The students were grouped into 27 teams, each tasked with solving challenges through innovative robotic solutions. At today's prize-giving ceremony, Chairman of the Board of Directors of the NCTI, Willis Williams, praised the performance of the students, noting that they exceeded expectations in both teamwork and problem solving.
I applaud them for their efforts and the exercise they had. They're all winners. You know, today we come to give out trophies and so on, but whether or not you got a trophy, you see yourself as a part of the process of charting the course of the future of this country from a technological standpoint. Because with your input and with what you're learning here and with your application of it, you know, the future holds well for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. To the sponsors, and the Minister made the point just now, we have many, but we are grateful because it shows that somebody is recognizing the importance of this exercise. And I have no doubt that going forward we will have more meaningful contributions and maybe more people on board to push this a little further. This is just the start. The ideas will continue to flow. Our team is excited about it. And when they do approach you as sponsors, please lend them a listening ear. To the team that put this whole thing together, I want to congratulate them. It's really a small team of dedicated workers, people who just go beyond, above and beyond to deliver. And I've seen them perform before, and yet every time they perform, they surprise me positively. This is a great exercise.
Chief Executive Officer of the NCTI, Petrus Gums, also commended the participants, stating that every student who took part in the event should be considered a winner.
What you did, I struggled in university with, and that is no joke. Some of you took a procedural language, which means you have to go in step for things to happen, and turn it to a university language to accomplish your goal. And hear what? You did that with little or no help in the space of 2 months. Give a round of applause. 2 months. On a regular basis, what you did will take schools in a regular setting between 2 to 3 years on the curriculum, with more contact time than what you got to complete this task. Do not be fooled, students. Some of you are in Form 4, Form 5, and I know the better secondary brought a Form 2. You are in the age of technology. Everything right now is technology. Everything right now is how much knowledge you can get to outwin the other. It's technology. And the common denominator is understanding the back workings of how things work. You want to build an app? You have to understand code. If you don't like it, you have to at least have an idea. You want to build a website? It's coding. Robotics is coding. Advanced Excel is some sort of coding. The games you play, the bank you attend, all run on technology, and someone has to code it. Someone has to instill the instructions for the bank to do what it's supposed to do.
Reflecting on the level of talent displayed, AGUMS emphasized the need for schools to go beyond the standard curriculum to nurture students with potential in STEM and technology-related fields.
Now, most of these students would have done this work on their own with the support of their teacher, their mentors. We want to congratulate the teachers as well. Please give the teachers a round of applause for the work that they put in. But as most of us will understand, a talent that does not have the environment to grow and nurture will die. It will fade and it will die. And you know what? There goes our programmers. There goes our network administrators. They're sitting right here, the database analysis analysts. And quite possibly, there might go the next version of the Vinci ChatGPT. Sound good, huh? Sound good? But we have to provide the environment where this talent can strive. Because if we continue the natural path, it will not happen in the regular school setting. So we have a lot of work to do. And what we are asking as the NCTI is that we are here. KCC is here. KFC is here. Corporate, all our sponsors are here to put the support needed to get this kind of talent out and on the market. And I like what Ms. McKenzie said. They will be looking for talent. All of the business here someday will be looking for talent. And I think one of the driving force is that our sponsors realize that they have to support something like this if they want to hire a person in the future from St. Vincent and Grenadines.
The winners of the inaugural National NCTI Robotics Competition were first place the Mountain View Adventist Academy, second place Bethel High School, third place the Bookament Bay Secondary School. The NCTI says it is already looking forward to an even bigger and better competition in the future as part of its mission to foster innovation and technological development among young people. In more local news now, we hear that pyramid schemes become problematic when there are no actual products or services being exchanged. So says Director of the Financial Intelligence Unit, FRU, Letitia Sandy Marks, during last night's edition of the Police on the Beat program, where the topic focused on spotting the red flags of a pyramid scheme. Sandy Marks emphasized that there is a fine line between legitimate multi-level marketing models and illegal pyramid schemes, and individuals must learn to distinguish between the two.
The thing is that there are no truly legitimate products or services being offered. So you do have those schemes where there are persons who sell a variety of things. We've seen it over the years. If there are, if there are some beauty products or if there are vitamins, so there's this legitimate business model where there is a product that you do obtain. And you do bring people into that business model, and they too sell products, and that's how you continue the survival of it. But I think the issue is that sometimes there's still a very thin line between that legitimacy and when it can dovetail to illegitimacy, because after a while, it has to be that there is some reserve of funds that people can actually get But once it becomes dependent on other people coming in and you're basically just using their money to shuffle around to pay the people at the top or a few at the bottom, that's when you remove the legitimacy, because there is no actual product or service that is truly generating any additional funds. It's just a matter of moving around other person's funds within this particular scheme.
The FIU director outlined several warning signs, including minimal focus on actual products, pressure to purchase expensive starter kits, and unrealistic income promises.
The very first red flag is the issue of there's a very strong emphasis on recruitment. So the focus is on you bringing in other people rather than a focus on what the product is. So because of the fact that it is the monies that other people bring in, this is what is used to pay other members of the scheme, that is where the focus is. So it's always on you need to bring people, you need to attract other people. And there's very little attention paid to what the product is, any information truly given on, okay, well, this is the cost of a particular product, this is the return, and a true evidence of a business model. Right? You might have high upfront costs, so you might have to pay a significant fee to become a part of the scheme. You may have to buy expensive starter kits in some instances. And of course, the big pull is the marketing. You're going to be lured with promises of extraordinary profits in a short period.
Sandy Marks also noted that pyramid schemes often target vulnerable populations, including young people and those unable to secure steady employment.
Okay. I think it's very critical for us to understand the framework within which we exist, because it was just referenced the blessing schemes and the susu hands. Those saw an upsurge during COVID, when it was understood that people couldn't work and there was a need for finances. And it targets those aspects of us, you know. So, for example, it's a situation where many of us are on various social media platforms, and anything these platforms ask us, we're going to tell them. We are going to give them anything. And so we need to understand that we exist in an age where there are things like targeted ads and targeted forms of information. We very quickly post about, you know, what it is we need, what it is we want. And there are targeted ads. There are people who monitor these things. So, for example, persons who may not be in a position to work, the, you know, young person, entrepreneurs, people who say that they're entrepreneurs and they're looking for ways to build their businesses. So we have to be mindful that a lot in this age of information, while there's a lot for us to get, there's a lot of information that we do give willingly or unwillingly. And unfortunately, it has made it so much easier for people to be targeted. And with social media, the reach is so much wider.
Sandy Marks encouraged the public to report suspicious financial ventures and seek advice before investing in any opportunity that promises quick and easy wealth. A lack of parental involvement in children's lives is one of the leading causes of cyberbullying and cyber crimes. This is according to Corporal of Police Aliyah Stapleton, who in an interview on WeFM emphasized that various forms of cyberbullying and online criminal activity have been occurring in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, with many cases involving minors, either as victims or perpetrators.
Cyberbullying or anything that's classified under the Cybercrime Act refers to actions done using technology. Now, relates to cyberbullying and the whole works done by kids, we have seen the teasing, the normal teasing. We have seen hazing done. We have seen the posting of innocent photos from classmates to classmates, taking an innocent photo of your classmate, posting them online, stating she has AIDS, she has been sleeping with somebody else. We have seen nudes from students, and even though nudes are classified as child pornography, when it's been repeated, it's classified as cyberbullying. You understand? We have seen voice notes being sent. We have seen, and while I'm describing child to child here, it has child to teacher. And you could see the dynamics of the classrooms there. We have teachers that have been making, as of recent, we have teachers that had made a mistake when they were teenagers and may have sent something to a boyfriend who has leaked it. Now coming back in the classroom where kids have been sending it in your classroom, you are the teacher. And this has been repeated.
Corporal Stapleton explained that while the police can take action in some cases, many offences are difficult to fully address after the fact, especially when evidence is deleted or victims are reluctant to come forward.
You see, the police hands are mostly tied sometimes, and in a lot of these cases, we have persons not wanting to go forward with these cases. Right? But from this police standpoint, all we do as a police standpoint, after a person says, all right, that we don't want to go forward with anything, we could try to intervene, we could do a little session between the both parties, bring their parents in and see if we could intervene on that end. But the police alone can't do it. If it is in the confines of a school, we have the parents come in, we as the police will go and we have a conversation there, then and there. But as for all our efforts, that has been falling flat because we've been seeing more of them happening. And now persons tend to not to use their own personal accounts. What they normally do now is create an anonymous account, and then you start to pester the same person, pester the person. You know, so we are not seeing much into, even though we have interventions and different things to try to mitigate the problem that is cyberbullying in itself. We don't see much resolve coming from it.
The police corporal urged parents and guardians to play a more active role in their children's digital lives, including monitoring the use of social media, apps, and online interactions.
The major problem that I have is that parents themselves are not involved at all. And at that point in time, when the parents know that the child has committed something or is in something, is when the police call them. And they don't know. You understand? So we don't have parents right now checking up on their children, not spying on them, you know, but monitoring them and setting expectations, you know, and stuff like that. We don't have that parenting on social media and with regards to cyberspace. Yes, we have parents making sure that the kids get home safe, that they're in their house, they're fed, they're protected physically. But on cyberspace, they have nothing. They don't know. You understand? And you're seeing things that make your belly kind of quench. You understand? And we have been seeing, well, I don't even tell you. If things I could tell you right now that are happening, it would scare you. It would really scare you. And sometimes when we get involved is when something has gone far. Ridiculously far. That is when the police gets involved, and by then the problem has gone so far that we can't actually offer a proper redress to anything other than charging somebody, and then we see the problem occurring again, maybe with other children, and that's it. So we don't have much parents involvement at all.